and welcome to Information Paradise. Today we have again Tarun Pradhaan. Welcome.
Thank you very much, and it is my pleasure to join you again in our discussions.
All right, so my first question is, how do you define spirituality?
It is very easy. Spirit means the essence.
Okay.
When we study what is the essence of everything, what is the essence of myself, what is the essence of the world, that study, that science is called spirituality.
Okay.
Study of our essence. That's all it is.
And what is that essence?
The essence is something which does not change. The essence is something when you remove everything that is not necessary, whatever remains is the essence. So that is why this word spirit was used, probably because when you remove everything that is non-essential from something, whatever defines that thing, if that thing is the spirit of that experience. So when we remove everything that is non-essential, then what remains is the spirit. That is probably the meaning of this word spirit. From there came the word spirituality. Now, what is it in ourselves or in this whole experience that we are having, the experience of the world and the bodies and everything? What is it that remains constant? When you throw out everything, when you substitute everything with other things, what is it that remains? So we have done this. Yes, we have done this kind of exploration. It is also called self-inquiry on the non-dual path or on the path of knowledge. It's this practice or this technique is called self-inquiry. So you find out something which is not essential and you discard it. So we can discard the objects, for example. The objects are not essential to me. You can change the object, you can change the house and all. You can change the clothes. You can change the bodies. The bodies are not essential. You can change the minds, the ego, the personality. They keep changing. These things are not essential. What is essential then? The one that is experiencing. That which experiences these things that are changing is the essence. And that is also called as the spirit. That is another name for my spirit. So it is, in Sanskrit, you can call it the Atman, which is also translated as the self with capital S. So that is my essence. That is the essence of actually everything. Why everything? Also because everything appears in that essential spirit. Without that experiencer that is experiencing, nothing really exists. And we have seen that our experience is nothing but consciousness of those experiences. There is no difference between our experience and the consciousness of the experience, which means the essence of every experience that we can have, for example, all the objects, the world, all the people, and even this body and mind, its essence is also the same spirit, the spirit that knows, that is conscious, that is aware, that is alive. It is the only essence. So that was the old kind of terminology, the Atman, the spirit and all. Nowadays you can call it that principle which experiences, the experiencer or the knower or the perceiver is our essence, is the essence of everything. And when you try to know it, when you try to study it, and when you try to realize these things, that field of knowledge, you can say, is spirituality. And when you study it, when you start knowing your essence, your mind will change, and your behavior will change, and your personality will change. And it is possible that even the body will change. And because your habits are changing, and you are uh, now you stop doing all those stupid things which were not essential. You are trying to become more like the spirit, pure. It is pure. It is the purest thing, because nothing can pollute it. Actually, it is the essence of everything. So the mind and body, they start changing, and even the world, people, societies, they also start changing. And therefore, sometimes we say that spirituality is a way of life. It changes the way we live, actually, changes the way we think, we talk, we behave with others and with the environment. Our relations, they all change with these things. So it is not only a study, it is a way of life also. It is practical also. It is implementation of this knowledge in our personality, in our life. That is also spirituality.
Okay. So what would you say a spiritual awakening is?
It is also very simple. It is knowing your essence. It is knowing your true nature. Once you know what you are, once you know the answer to this question, who am I? Not by reading it or not by listening it, but by direct experiencing, then that is the awakening. Why is it called awakening or enlightenment? They are same words. Self-realization, same thing. There are many words for it. And why is it called awakening? Because the mind sleeps. Mind is in some kind of delusion or a deep sleep when it does not know, when this knowledge is not there of its essence. And as soon as you know what you are, it is like waking up from deep sleep. It is like waking up from the dream of the delusion, of the illusion, also called the Maya. Maya is nothing. Maya simply means that you take your ordinary experience as real, and you take your essence as unreal, which is the condition of almost 99.99% individuals here on the planet. They think that the body and the world is real, although it keeps changing, although it is illusory. They have reversed this essential knowledge, and they think that the consciousness or spirit is fantasy. So when you awaken, you realize that it is other way around. The world is a fantasy. The bodies are unreal. The minds are simply an imagination, and the only real thing that stays behind, that is the background of all these unreal things, is the consciousness, is the spirit, or the Atman, or the self, or whatever you want to call it. There are so many names for it. Some people may want to call it God or the universe. Universe awakens through the individual, and you will find such statements. So this is the meaning of awakening. It is also called enlightenment, because it is like shining a light within you. When you are in a dark room, what do? You turn on a light, because you cannot see what is there. Even though everything is there, you cannot see. When the light shines, you can see. When the light of consciousness shines within you, in your mind, now you can finally see what is true, what is not true. And therefore, it is also called the inner light. The word en in front of enlightenment means internal. Whenever we add a prefix of en, it means something internal, energy and entropy and all these things, you see. So all these words, they all always point towards something which is inside. So enlightenment is the light which is within, which is inside. What kind of light it is which is inside? What is it that makes us see everything clearly? It is the consciousness, it is the awareness, it is the knowledge of who am I, the spiritual knowledge. Therefore, spiritual knowledge is also called the essential knowledge. All other knowledge is non-essential knowledge. I mean, it is, even if you do not know anything else, if you know your essence, that is enough. Therefore, some people will say that knowing your essence is enough, and you will know everything there is only by knowing what you are.
Know that which knows everything.
Know that which knows everything, yes. And because everything is that, so you will know everything.
Crazy.
As simple as that.
What are your thoughts on why people should embrace spirituality?
They should not. There is no need, actually.
Okay.
You are the spirit, even if you know it. You are the spirit, even if you don't know it. There is no real necessity for everybody to know anything. They are what they are. Even if there is darkness in their minds, they are the spirit. They are the consciousness. So what happens is that people, because of the ignorance, they suffer. There is a lot of suffering in the world. The suffering is because of blind beliefs, because they believe in something else, not in that which is true. That causes, very stupid kind of behavior, like people kill each other, hate each other, they destroy the environment, they abuse the bodies, they, are violent, they are dumb, they are greedy, jealous, and all these lower qualities are present in the people, and that is because the ego has taken hold of their lives. Ego is nothing but a survival machine. So people are trying to survive somehow, which is not bad, but they are doing it in a very inefficient way. It causes suffering. And when the suffering crosses a threshold, like it becomes too difficult to live with that kind of suffering, then people start searching for an answer. Why am I suffering? Why is there so much darkness? Why is there so much misery in my life? Why people behave in the way they do? And why is this world the way it is? And eventually they find a teacher. Eventually they find the answer within themselves. And other answers, they are not satisfactory. So if you are not suffering, if you do not need any answers, if you do not need to know, then there is no need to take the spirituality. It is not a rule that everybody should become spiritual. It is not really necessary. If there is a need, if you are suffering, then you will need the answers. You will start seeking, you will start searching. That will take you to a teacher, a guru, and the guru is the one who takes you from the darkness to the light. He enlightens you. There is another way. That is, suffering is not the only way. The second way is curiosity. If you're extremely curious, if you do not accept the brainwashing that is being done by the society, you see, this society is the biggest reason for our ignorance. Whatever people think, whatever they believe, they blindly, everybody blindly follows those things. And especially the people who are on the big positions, if they say something, then it becomes written in stone. And ordinary people simply believe it. So if you are very curious, if you do not trust everybody, like with you have blind faith in the society, you are uncritical about what people say, then you do not need spirituality. If you are a rebel, if you do not trust anybody, if you want to find out the truth for yourself, you need to see it for yourself. It means you are extremely curious, you are of the explorer kind. Then eventually you will arrive on a spiritual path. You will arrive at these questions: that what is this world? What is my nature? What is my essence? And you will, even if you do not want to call it spirituality, you will arrive at something which resembles spirituality. You will arrive at knowledge, obviously. So not necessary. It should not be taken up by everybody. Only it is meant for only a few people who have this potential to wake up. It is not for everyone. And that is what you will find. Even if you make a rule, like you make a law in your country that everybody will be spiritual from tomorrow, otherwise you put them in jail, which has already happened. It is called religion. So they try to enforce spirituality on everybody, and it becomes corrupt. It becomes a disaster. So it's not for everyone. It is only for either those who want answers, they are suffering, they want happiness, they want a blissful, peaceful life. It is for them. Or those who have too many questions, who are very, very curious, who are of explorer kind. It is for them. Everybody else, they are, good where they are. They will start on the path someday. In some of their lives, they will ripe. The ripening is happening. The evolution is happening. So one day their time will come, but it is not for everyone.
What are some mistakes, some common mistakes and traps and misconceptions about spirituality?
The very first one that I see amongst seekers, very advanced kind of seekers also, they are in this trap that they are trying to find answers in experience. They think that some one or the other kind of experience is going to give me some kind of truth. It is going to answer my question. No, the answers are not in experience. The answers are in the experiencer. That is the answer. The one who is experiencing is the answer. For example, you want to know what is truth. You will never find it out there in the world. You will never find it in any kind of experience, whether it is ordinary experience, whether it is extraordinary experience, whether it is meditative experience, whether the experience is after death, before birth, or any kind of experience. No, you will never find the truth. The truth is that which is ever present. It does not come and go. It is not impermanent. That is the only truth. And you will find it here and now. It is present here and now. It is my essence. It is my spirit. And second, belief is, where will I find the happiness? Where will I find the bliss finally? And they try different experiences. Probably eating more is going to make me happy. Or probably having more partners, marrying more, having more children, or probably more money or more power. Power over people, power over the society, causing more wars and mass murders. Probably that will give me more happiness. So people keep doing all kinds of stupid things. And the so-called spiritual people, they meditate all day and night to get the perfect experience of happiness. You will never find happiness there. Who is happy? The one who knows. The suffering is being created in the mind. The mind is an experience. Why is it being created in the mind? Because of the ignorance. What is the ignorance? Not knowing my essence. As soon as you know my essence, that essence is eternally blissful. It is not even, you cannot even say that it is happy, because the happiness is dual of sadness. Happiness follows sadness, sadness follows happiness. Bliss has no dual. There is no non-bliss. So bliss is eternal peace. And who is peaceful? The one who is looking, the one who is observing. It has no contents to make it unhappy. So the mind is misery-making machine. It is always unhappy. The world is impermanent. Even if you get a little bit of pleasure from world, it's not going to last. It goes away, which is our experience actually. And you will never find happiness out there. So these are examples of the traps. This is the biggest trap. If you think that you will find spirituality somewhere in some experience in some country, and according to some guru, without guru you cannot find it, and all these misconceptions are there. All you need to do is turn inwards. Every answer is here. All of the happiness of the world is here. This is the biggest trap. And second trap is people think that extraordinary life will produce spirituality. So what do? They dress in very fancy clothes, colorful clothes, or grow their hair, grow their beard, and have snakes around their neck. What is it going to do actually?
It's just objects around you.
Yeah, that is not spiritual life. That is stupidity. So spiritual life is understanding what spirit is and living from that realization, self-realization. That is spiritual life. So this is another trap. People think behaving in a certain way, talking a certain language, the biggest hi-fi Sanskrit words, if they can recite, that is spiritual. No, it is not. It is all stupidity. The spiritual life is very simple, very, very simple. You won't be able to distinguish a spiritual person from an ordinary person if you simply look at that person. It is being what you are. That's all it is. The most natural state. So all these kinds of rituals and drama, and that is not really spiritual in my opinion. It is a distortion of spirituality.
Okay, so to round it off, what practical steps can a viewer take right now after they watch this video to begin on their spiritual path or to progress?
First thing, they need to set up a goal, a spiritual goal, not a material goal. What is the difference between spiritual goal and material goal? The spiritual goal will liberate you. It will make you free from everything, from all desires to have things. It will actually liberate you from the goal itself. And a material goal, you will get it very quickly, and you will not be satisfied with it. That kind of goals are to be discarded, and they are not the spiritual goals. Anything that can be had in the world, worldly things, anything that you can have from people like relations, or anything that your guru is giving you is not your goal. So first thing is to arrive at a spiritual goal which is beyond these worldly things, which does not come from outside. So now the question is, what is it that comes from inside? It is very easy. Your essence, your spirit, it is inside. Inside means it is not to be found in experience. It is the one that is experiencing. Make it your goal. Make it your ambition and aim and target. Achieve it. Realize that thing. And it does not take more than 5 minutes. And the rest of the life is simply purifying your mind, purifying your body, purifying the behavior, and bringing this jeev, this bundle of memories, which we are experiencing right now in various forms, bring it into a purified state, a liberated state, also called the bodhisattva state, or the Buddha mind, or a pure mind, or you can say it is the nirvana. You can also call it liberation, salvation, or mukti. There are so many names. There are so many names. In my opinion, it is a mind which is free from ignorance. Just free yourself from ignorance. Once you realize what you are, the ignorance should start cutting itself. The ignorance rots away by itself. This should be the goal. This should be the goal. Once you get the goal, then other activities are secondary. For example, you have the goal now. Now you can accelerate your progress towards the goal by joining a guru. Who is a guru? Who has achieved that goal. Do not join somebody who does not know what they're talking about, or who are simply reading from books and all. And do not join those people. They are good teachers. They are what we call here as pandits. Pandits means an expert. They are expert in some things, you see. They know who said what very precisely on what date and in which book, what is written on which page. These people are pandits, but they do not have any realization. They cannot guide you. So who is my guru? The one nearest to you, who knows who he is, who knows his own essence. Just go and take some guidance. There will be obstacles because this is mind. It is full of obstacles. There will be unfulfilled desires. There will be remains of ignorance, and then you gradually clear it up. What will that do is, first it will liberate you from suffering. The first thing to go away will be suffering. If you see that your suffering is still here, that means you did not make a spiritual goal. That means you're running after something which is giving you suffering. And that means you do not have a guru. That means you do not have a proper guru. If the guru is not clearing your suffering in one day, that's not your guru. Probably he is an expert on something. He is not going to take you to light. So change your guru. It is not a rule that once you make a guru, the guru will stay forever. And that's not the rule. You can change the gurus. In a similar way, you learn from many teachers when you were in the school. You can learn from many teachers when you are on the spiritual path. So, and that is the first thing you do. That is the second thing you do. First is goal. You can compile this list. You are very good at compiling the important points. So you can compile this list. First is the goal, which should be spiritual goal. Second is the guru. Third is recognize that which is causing suffering around you. Is it bad environment? Are you in a bad country where people are tortured and they are not free? Leave that country. Do not come under this misguidance of patriotism. If you're not happy, there is no need to be patriotic. Run away from that place. Are you surrounded by miserable people, violent people, bad people? Leave them all. Even if they are your relatives, even if they are your brothers and sisters and parents, just kick them out of your life. Especially the married people should note this. So
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I also don't know, but mostly people are very happy till they get married. And are you in a bad job where you are told to lie, where you are told to do some corrupt practices? For example, you are saving criminals and charging a lot of money from them. Or you are in a job where you are told to sell some kind of crap at high cost, fool the customers. If you are in such kind of jobs which are impure, which do not encourage a spiritual lifestyle, leave it. And are you bound by some stupid beliefs, like blind beliefs, which were stuffed into your mind by the society, by your parents? Just get rid of them. Purify the mind. So note anything that is causing suffering. Note anything that is causing misery and bondage. Your goal is happiness and freedom, bliss and knowledge. Now, get rid of everything that is ignorance, everything that is bondage, everything that is unwholesome and causing suffering. First, get rid of it, clean it up, and then you will find that there are some patterns in you yourself, your behavior patterns or your beliefs. They are very hard to get rid of, and then you will need to consult a guru under the guidance of a teacher. You can clean them up. So that is how we proceed on the spiritual path. There are obviously some more things, like sometimes you will encounter very specific problems, and then you will need a specific teacher to clear them. And this is our struggle. The struggle is not with anybody else. The struggle is not with stuff around you. Our struggle is within us. The greatest enemy is our ego, the lower mind, the dark mind, the animal mind, whatever you want to call it. So many ahankar, so many names are there for this primitive structure in the mind. You need to get rid of that, or at least purify that, bring it under control. So this is how we proceed.
It's a marvel that we've got here, humanity, millions of years. So thank you very much, Tarun, for your knowledge and your wisdom. And we'll see you again next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a nice time.